We are now in the month of December, so very near year end. And if you're unhappy with the way your payroll is going for any reason, now is the best time to start thinking about switching. Now, this can mean if you're doing payroll yourself and unhappy with the software and just looking for a new solution or software for yourself. But it also means if you're unhappy with your service provider, now's a great time to switch. Or if you've been doing it yourself and you're ready to outsource, now's the best time to switch. So, the reason for this is when you move payroll systems, you have to bring all of the company information, all of your employee information. And if you're switching sometime throughout the year, you also have to bring in all of your historical payroll data. So that means every single payroll that you've processed, the tax liabilities, the tax payments, you have to balance and reconcile everything to ensure that everything matches. You have to reconcile the tax payments. And depending on how many employees you have or how many states you have employees in, that can be a huge undertaking. Now, sometimes if you're working with a payroll service provider, they will take care of that for you. I know here at Valor, we do a full turnkey onboarding where we take care of not only getting the data into the system, but also balancing and reconciling everything. But that's not the case with every service provider. And it's usually not the case if you're utilizing some sort of do it yourself platform where you would be responsible for bringing all of that data in. There is huge room for error when bringing in historical data, especially when it comes to the taxes and tax payments. So if you switch for the first pay date of the new year, or even the first month-ish of the new year, you will have none of the historical data or very little historical data to bring over. So again, you're just inputting your company information, getting your employees onboarded, and getting your taxes set up. And then you're ready to process payroll without worrying about bringing anything in from another system. One thing to keep in mind, though, if you are processing payroll in a new system for the first pay date of the new year, is that there may be variations to some of the taxes, even if everything matches. And that's just because tax tables update annually. You may also have some changes to your unemployment insurance tax rates, which could cause some variations on your employer tax liabilities. And keep in mind when it comes to unemployment insurance tax in and of itself, those have wage-based limits. And so a lot of times we see that at the end of the year, employees have reached those wage bases and the UI tax is very minimal. Even if you're not switching payroll systems, just be prepared that when you start payroll in the new year, all of those wage bases reset. So when you are moving payroll into a new system, even if you're not bringing historical data, be sure that you are validating the information and records. But again, this can sometimes be a bit of a challenge because even if you have the same pay amounts, deduction amounts, or federal income tax withholding setup, you may still see variations when it comes to those taxes just because of the changes for the new year. But overall, if you're looking to switch for any reason, now's the time to do it. It will make it infinitely easier on yourself and also on your employees. Keep in mind, though, that you do want whoever you were working with before to still issue the W-2s for that year and take care of your quarter 4 tax filings and payments. And then quarter 1 will be the responsibility of the new service provider or software or wherever you choose to go. So a lot of things happen with year end. It's a crazy time. Everyone's busy with holidays. So of course, payroll is probably not the thing people are thinking about the most. But again, if you are unhappy with the software that you're using or the service provider that you're using, now is a great time just to kind of explore your options. And again, even if you don't make the change for necessarily the very first payroll of the new year, the less historical data that you need to bring into the new system, the better and the easier it will be on you. As always, if you have questions about payroll or if there's something that we can help you with, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find us online at valorpayrollsolutions.com.